Wow. 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 Good morning, afternoon, evening. Hi, everyone. I'm still shaking a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed the cover. I worked really hard on it. It was good, thank goodness. While I was working on it, a lot of senpais released their own covers, and then we had the Hololive 6th Gen Kohai's debut, and I was very nervous. My hands were like, oh no. So I was like, But I think this is one of the times I can say I did the best I could with the skills that I had so far. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Yeah. Did you guys have like a wave of nostalgia push you over? Cause I did, cause whenever I was working on the video and stuff, actually when I was singing it too, brought back really good memories. Of when I was watching Spice and Wolf back in the day. It was incredible. Thank you everyone. Honestly, I feel like I tell you guys this a lot, but being in Hololive really motivates me to try new things, especially in the visual department. Especially in the visual department because yeah, usually if I'm just alone by myself, I probably will quit working on something halfway. I'll be like, oh, I learned enough, I can stop it. But for you guys, I want to try and, I guess, show you guys that I'm actually working on something till the end. So yeah, I'm glad that it's working. Also, I'll be the whole motif behind the whole MV was to kind of create something that looked like an anime opening. Because of course the song itself was used as an opening, so I kind of wanted to create something similar to that. There were some limitations. My original plan was to draw everything in my normal style, where there's a lot more lightings and shadows and stuff. But then I realized otherwise, if I did that, it was just gonna be a glorified PowerPoint. At that point, it was gonna be a glorified PowerPoint. And the what actually changed? Okay, I should probably show you guys like my quote-unquote storyboard for it. But what changed the whole direction was actually the in-between scenes, the images that showed up during the din parts. I actually needed a couple more slides, I feel like, but I ended up making it out alive with only 12 cuts. But those took quite a while to draw. Still, it's still 12. It's still 12 on top of the other ones I had to draw for the main art of it. I told you guys I drew a lot for it. But yeah, 12 cuts, but I was like, okay, I have a limited amount of time. I'm gonna release the cover by this date. Technically, it was supposed to be released around Thanksgiving, because, kind of like a Thanksgiving autumn kind of feel to the song. But yeah, but that was it. It got delayed a little bit because it took a little longer on like actually animating the MV, because I'm pretty new to After Effects. But I learned a lot of After Effects this time around. I'm excited to do more stuff with it in the future. It changed a little bit from the storyboard, especially near the end, because I just couldn't think of a better way to incorporate it into the MV. Okay, where's part 1? So as you can see, this looks already a little different from what we have. At first, I wasn't supposed to be like all the way sideways. And this wasn't even supposed to be animated like in the movie. But I had the general idea. I want to start off with the blue sky with the logo. You can see the logo. I kind of wrote down the logo and I was like, okay, I want to find a font similar to it. And the closest thing I could find was the one I used. So I chose a good font. Yeah. So at this point, I didn't know what I could do with the After Effects and what I am capable of animation-wise. Okay, so the very first idea was to actually draw this normally and animate it using Live 2D and After Effects. But I realized that's probably gonna take a really long time, even with the time frame I gave myself. Yeah. Yeah. But this whole part just ended up being the looping animation. I think it was worth it. It was a lot of fun just making it. Done. As you can see, you know how in the drawing stream where I was drawing Rapu-chan, I said, oh, drawing with like a pixelated brush is really nice because you can fill the picture in really fast. It's because I was working on this. I learned it so much faster. Like the hair loops between 8 images. I drew the hair separately on a different layer. As you can see. Wow, Paulina. And the feet animation is in 16 or so. Yeah. I know the animation could have been better, especially on the feet, but it was gonna get covered up by the plants anyways, so I didn't bother fixing it too much. But yeah, each frame looks like this. Whee! It's moving. But yeah, basically I wanted to put everything I learned so far while I was in Hololive into making this, including After Effects, Premiere Pro, animating in Clip, compositing in After Effects, yeah. Oh yeah, I should probably show you guys the original, oh not this, original character design that I used for all the different cuts. Oh. It actually had more details. This is what I used, the color palette. There used to be more ribbons on the sleeves, but I got rid of that. I was like, nope, not drawing that anymore. Yeah. There's the double braids. Nice skirt. There was gonna be laces, but it was too much to draw, so I didn't. Omitted some details, okay? Optimized it. Yeah. Basically, everything I've drawn is with these color palettes within these colors. And then, all the editing was done on After Effects. Technically, I want to do, as you can see in like 5B, C, and D, I want to do it so it looked like I was kind of like moving across the screen with like the different backgrounds. But I thought it would be a little more fun if it looked like photographs taken during travels. like selfies or someone taking a picture of me at a certain place, stuff like that. Yeah. So it ended up being the 12 cuts like that. But this still had the general idea of having the in between, like different photographs in between the scenes as a transition. But yeah, this part stayed the same. This part, I had the idea while I was just chatting with you guys. I was like, oh, maybe I'm just like, cause in the earlier, I skipped the page. in this cut, I'm holding like a sheet blanket cloth in the field. Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe it's nice to have a cut where I'm just, you know, sleeping with the sheets, bed sheets. Okay, at first there was this cut which made it into the final one, but this cut didn't make it. I didn't want to draw the field. I didn't want to redraw the field, so it ended up being the cut where I think I have the rough for it. So I just so I ended up just doodling this, which made it into the cut instead, which is where I'm holding the cloth on the side and I'm running. Optimization. Well, to be fair, like I feel like you guys would rather look at me than the wheat fields, right? This is where the text was gonna go. Anyways, yeah. And that was the cut after that. This is where it was just originally gonna be looping the first cut. However, it actually is the same cut. The beginning, middle, and the end where I'm on the cart is actually the same cut, just with different effects. Optimization. Yeah. So at first it was all like the same daytime setting. I was like, wait a minute, what if I made it different time of the day so it shows the passing of time? So I added in some effects like the sunset and like the evening, because I knew I wanted to end the song with the moon at the end. So I was like, okay, so I can have a sunset, and at the very end one could be the nighttime, and yeah, big brain. Oh yeah, this part, I really enjoyed working on the moon. I think members might know because I showed them a little bit of a behind the scenes of me working with the After Effects. Oh, I can actually show you guys all the layers, especially for this one. If you can originally see, it was originally a full moon. However, the lyrics at this part actually mentions a Mikazuki, which is a crescent moon. So I changed it to crescent moon. So basically, a lot of the, I guess, moving parts that are done in different layers. So there's the base sky, add the moon with a little bit of glow. Those are separate layers. You have the first bit of clouds, which is the clouds that are much higher up in the sky, so you can barely see them in the dark. And then you see the main cloud layer. Oops. Main cloud layer here. And then a little bit of glow to accompany the cloud. This is basically, because I've been studying a lot of like how animes are made and stuff like that, right? Basically, they're overlaid in different layers. Let me. This is easy for you to see, right? Yeah. So that's how it's overlaid in After Effects. It's easier to see this way. So, when you animate like background objects, the closer it is to the camera, to your viewpoint, the faster it moves, right? So it can create an illusion by creating different layers and moving them at different speeds. So if you're looking at it from here, the glow. Oh, I guess these are tied together. These are tied together. So in the After Effects, I would make sure that this cloud moves faster than this one, and this one barely moves at all. Yeah. So it creates that kind of like, what's like parallax effect. Like if you look out the window when you're traveling in like a car or train, and you see like the railings right beside your car move like super fast, but the trees move very slowly. Or I guess the trees move a little faster too, but then like the mountains in the back barely move, right? So that's what you think about. The same thing happened with like the main cuts too. Let's see if I can open that. Okay, so this is the cloud that I drew during the for the scene where I'm in the field holding the cloth. There's the sky that I drew. Then cloud number 2. And then I believe this is the... Oh yeah, and this is the original cut without the effects. This one was a little different because it pans like up and down. But the same thing kind of still happens, because I don't think that the wheat fields are in this file, but there was the wheat fields in the back, and there was the wheat fields in the front. Let me roughly draw that. Whee! And then the wheat fields here. Whee! Whee! So if I were to kind of visualize how this was done in After Effects, but this time it's moving like up and down, right? It was like up and down. Whee. So if you see the camera, and the camera is going from the bottom, like bottom here, to up here. Just the relative positions of these two, or like everything moving, can create the effect of the camera moving up and down, I think. And the relative speeds of those objects as well. Of course, the closer it is, the faster it moves also. Faster and much more distance it moves on the screen also comes into effect. Yeah. So basically, that's what happened in all of them. This one. As you can see, the flowers are all gonna be blurred out, so I used some stock images. And I made the background really simply on Blender. It's gonna be blurred out anyways. But basically, they're also on all different layers. I did some shadows just to see what the colors would be. See the pillars in a different area or color. The flowers, they're in like 3-4 different layers, I think, with the background in the back. So about this one though, is that when this one I added an effect so it looks like the camera is just like rotating around the subject, which is me right here. So the flowers in the front, so these flowers, and the pillar will be moving to the right, whereas the flower in the back and the pillars and stuff, which is technically behind me, is moving to the left. So it looks like the camera is slowly rotating around Ina. So yeah, I learned a lot about like moving, panning the what's it called? Panning the camera, and having different layers moving at different speeds create this effect of, you know, a subject being in an actual space instead of just the glorified PowerPoint. That's what I'm trying to get at. one part I really shards move away. Yeah, one part I really enjoyed making was actually this cut, where it's actually the same base cut as this one. It's where the slideshow is like, it looks like there's like a projector with all the pictures going across it according to the beat. That one I really enjoyed making. It was quite challenging because I had to make a separate source of all the slideshows, and I had to put the slideshows in a different, use like a different effect, I guess, layer blending mode to create that kind of like projector feel to it. And then what I'm proud of is that I actually thought of at first it was just gonna be one overlaid, right? But then I was like, wait, but what if? And I duplicated the slideshow so it's the same timing as the one behind Ina. So there's Ina here. So there's a separate layer of the same slideshow, but it's offset just slightly like this. And then there's the actual slideshow like that. So it looks like, there's a little bit of depth. And I also added a shadow here. It was just this layer duplicated and blurred a little bit. So it looks like it's casting a shadow. There's a little bit of depth. So there's a lot you can do with just like a limited amount of resources, but can get really creative when compositing the MV. Which was a lot of fun to learn about. I'm sure there's even more ways to, optimize this. But, my knowledge of After Effects is very limited so far. I mean, I learned a lot now, but still, compared to like actual professional, I don't know that much. But it's a little bit, it's the small things, that when you figure it out, you're just like, oh, I did it. It's a great start. But yeah, it's putting everything I've been thinking about, everything I wanted to try, and learned over my time here at Hololive, that I wanted to, challenge myself a lot, see what my limit is to create this. Yeah. And the rest of it, I basically didn't do it. It was supposed to be, as I said, like the ending was supposed to be the same like daytime, but it's gonna be different seasons actually. So the trees were just gonna change the background. But ended up being just different times of the day throughout the MV. So I scrapped this idea. But yeah, the ending stayed the same, where the moon was sparkling and it fades to black. And that's the storyboard. I think the main cut, the animated one, took me around a day to animate and then put it into After Effects. And I still had like the rest of the movie to go. I was like, it took a long time. It really did. But I put everything I could into making it. I really did, didn't I? But I've always been interested in learning more about animation and creating just short animations that I could maybe one day upload to my channel and stuff. So what a good way to start off, by practicing the skill, but actually, applying it to something that I'm working on, which was the cover. I learned a lot. Yeah. And I hope that one day I can add more animated scenes to future covers and stuff. Yeah. Basically, this project started off with being, I want to cover Tabi no Tochuu by like Thanksgiving time, by the end of the autumn season. And I guess I still kind of made it. I know it's kind of winter winter-ish, but it's kind of it's okay. We made it. But then it ended up being like, do I ask someone else to draw the art for it, and do I have someone else do the movie for it? But then the idea came to me around October, early October, late October, somewhere around there. Around the time where I did take that spare schedule of 2 weeks ish. I took a short break of just planning out, working on stuff. I realized if I were to ask someone, it would probably be really last minute. And I wanted it to be, since it is my first cover after all, and it's something that, it was a song that, you know, brings back a lot of good memories to me, and I wanted to do a good job with the stuff without it being delayed a lot. Because the more people that's involved in the production, especially, might have some trouble with the scheduling. I know it happens. So, you know, and so I thought to myself, like, you know, how about I just push myself to the limits, just, you know, do as much as I can. See where I can go with this. And I think I made it through. I had a lot of fun. It was challenging, but I learned a lot, and I can apply for other future projects, which I'm looking forward to. I'll think about different songs to, you know, work on next time. But I know my limits now. I know where I need help with. So if I do need that to make it into an even better quality product in the end, I will do that. Yeah, I think it is important to kind of be aware of what goes in the production of, other than just using the song, so that you know what to ask for, and you know what to expect, and having a better understanding of all the processes, I think, helps actually the other creators as well that you're working with, since you know what's possible, what's not possible, so you can give them better directions. And yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm glad that I'm able to show you guys this. As I said before at the start of the stream, if it was something I was working on my own, there's a high possibility that I would have probably quit halfway, be like, oh, I worked on this enough. But I was only able to pull through because I really, really wanted to share what I'm passionate about with you guys. Yeah.